away from me.
Hello everyone, my name is Drew, and welcome to Social Distance Cinema Discussion. Congratulations everyone, in less than a week we will have survived until 2021. I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking forward to whatever disasters may be coming this upcoming year. This week we watched the new superhero movie, Wonder Woman 1984. And I gotta tell you, it's pretty friggin' sweet being able to watch movies that should be in theaters just in your own house. I promise you one day we will rent out a large theater for all of us to sit and enjoy a large picture screen. But until that day, we're gonna have to keep suffering through with casts. So thank you for joining us, and I hope you continue to join us. It's a shame because Wonder Woman 1984 is a movie I would have really enjoyed watching in theaters. But since it's available on streaming, I was able to watch its predecessor and then this right afterward. And I can tell you that the movie starts off on a bit of shaky ground because of that. In a flashback, we see young Diana, or Wonder Woman, competing in a contest that would humble even the most seasoned warrior.
I've seen this contest. Humble even the most seasoned warriors, Diana.
It includes challenges like shooting a bow and arrow, riding a horse, throwing a spear. I don't know, just crazy war shit. If you think back to the first film, Diana was strongly discouraged from doing anything related to war, combat, or violence.
There will be no training. You have greater powers than you know. But if you don't try hard... Diana! Are you hurt?
No, Mother, I'm fine. I was just...
Training.
In 1984, when she looks to be of the same age, her mom, the Queen, looks on eagerly and supportively of her child doing this crazy combat challenge. That mother-daughter relationship struggle took up the entirety of the first 45 minutes of Wonder Woman 1. That kind of rolled off the tongue. Wonder Woman 1, Wonder Woman 1, Wonder Woman 1. It seems like kind of a spit in the face to fans that were actually paying attention to the film's history. But I'm not really sure that I even would have noticed had I not watched the first one right prior to watching 1984. Did you guys notice? Let me know in the comments. I don't think that's really a huge deal because the contest isn't out of the realm of possibility for Amazonian culture, just that their relationship was not really like that in the first. As far as the whole opening goes though, it has some pretty awesome action and a nice lesson that is the moral through line of the movie.
No true hero is born from lies.
It was effective in that it quickly and concisely grabbed our attention, which is important for movies this long. And speaking of the length of the movie, holy shit, this movie was long. At about 2.5 hours, I'm hesitant to say that the movie drags on because it's really all setup and character work. To be fair, if you're just there to see some badass Wonder Woman action scenes with that kick-ass score, sit tight, because it takes a little while. I'm talking after that opening sequence, there's not really another action scene for another hour at least. Did I get bored? Maybe a little, but overall I'm a big proponent of this step away from mindless action. I need to care about the characters and their motivations in order for there to be any stakes during these action scenes. For me, the film harkens back to the OG Spider-Man movies, and trust me, that's high praise coming from me. I actually give a shit about the emotional turmoil of Wonder Woman because they take the time to develop it all. But it's not just for Wonder Woman. The film takes a lot of time to develop Cheetah and Maxwell Lord. This respect for the villains is something we really don't see very often these days. I don't particularly like to get swept up in the DC versus Marvel debate, but I would challenge you guys to find any Marvel film that dedicates this much time to its villains. I could probably count them on one hand. Not only that, but now that I'm thinking about it, this is probably the best on-screen romance that I've seen in a comic book movie in a long time. The relationship between Steve and Diana is something, again, that harkens back to the OG Spider-Man movies between MJ and Peter Parker. Newer Marvel films seem to do the bare minimum in regards to romantic relationships. I can't think of one that actually stands out to me. I mean, I guess you could do Tony Stark and Pepper Potts, but even she's kind of just like a shell of a character. Chris Fry brought up a point that there's not much reason for the film to be set in 1984, and my God is he right. First of all, Wonder Woman has been in the world of man since World War I. In 1984, the film implies that this is the first time she's making her public appearance.
It wasn't the police, but a mysterious female savior that multiple witnesses saw. Which, of course, begs the biggest question of today. Who is this woman, and where did she come from?
World War I ended in 1918, so that means she sat idly by and watched World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the Cuban Missile Crisis, and just all sorts of terrible atrocities. But in just 5 years, she can help out at Tiananmen Square. We know your history, China. 1984 is such an arbitrary year. Nothing happened during it, and in terms of story, it serves no real purpose. This film could have easily have taken place in 2020. Wonder Woman could have fought Rona. It seems like a transparent attempt to cash in on a growing audience appeal for a 1980s aesthetic. Which is weird, because they don't really go out of their way to show the aesthetic very often. And now, here's a few other things that I deemed worth mentioning in this video. A nice little tip for filmmaking is that everything should feel intentional, and that goes for everything that's placed in the frame as well. During one of Gal Gadot's and Kristen Wiig's first scenes together, there's a large predatory cat figurine in all the shots with Kristen Wiig. This is a nice visual indication of what happens later on in the film. I thought it was a little weird that Steve took over a different person's body and they never really did anything fun with that. It seems like a holdover from an earlier version of the script, like maybe Diana would have to renounce her wish because it's morally horrible to have your long dead boyfriend take over the body of someone who's alive now. They don't do anything with that though, which annoys me because that's the very first thing that came to my mind. Even I, who knows nothing about Wonder Woman, got hype when Diana turned the jet invisible. I just wish they had established it earlier though, because maybe someone that knows even less than I do has no f***ing idea how she got that power or where that came from.
And every time we strike gold, you strike gold.
What do you think happened to this couple? There's no way I could ever trust a man that dropped me over a bridge on our wedding day. I'm not saying that Wonder Woman shouldn't have saved her. All I'm saying is that she definitely, without a doubt, ruined that marriage. Really, the only question worth asking is, do we want shorter superhero movies that are jam-packed with action, but pay little to no attention to the characters? Or do we want movies that are a lot longer, but pay attention to characters and their motivations? I know it shouldn't be one or the other, but these days it seems like that's the way it's going. What would you prefer? Let me know in the comment section. Also, what's your favorite superhero movie and why? How does it relate to this movie? Let me know down there, and while you're down there, give me a like and a subscribe, please. I'd love to hear it. In my view, the answer is clear. Wonder Woman 1984 is a little slow, but it definitely justifies the runtime and gets a solid 12 out of 15 lobsters. Keep an eye out on social media and Discord for this week's movie. If you have a movie you'd like to recommend, let me know in the comment section, the Discord, or the movie list that can be found in the Discord. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and hopefully I'll see you next week. What the f*** was that?